Hello everyone, and welcome to the game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Tulsa, a new coal ship that has recently been introduced into World of Warships. So it's a tier 9 premium US cruiser and it's basically a Des Moines at tier 9. Well, obviously a bit of downgrade at Des Moines because it's tier 9. Anyway, so in other news, my lag issues have gotten better. They haven't completely disappeared, but the game is playable again, so yay for that. Now also I should note, I have played about 5 battles in the Tulsa, so those are still, in a way, early impressions. But, you know, personally I enjoy the Tulsa. The Tulsa, it feels like a tier 9 Des Moines, which is all I ever wanted, I guess, because I love my Des Moines. Now you have the same guns, but you only have 6 of them, because you only have 2 barrels per turret. And, well, I'm radaring a Kita cast. Your radar is also only 9 kilometers. So, there is that. And your firing range is only 14.9. Now, you could mount the range module if you want more range. I personally have decided to go for the better reload. And, I mean, I guess it depends on the map you're at. Or if you have somebody probably with smoke and such, because if you... Like, 14.9 can be rather limiting. Now, it's not like you have the best shellax anyway. Hitting a high maneuverable target at longer ranges isn't going to be easy. Hitting a battleship, though, should be fine, so... You can always consider to go for the range if you prefer that. Now, what's also notable in this game is we have a free command division. This is, by the way, a tier 10 battle with 1 submarine and no carrier. But our Pommen division has announced early on, they said, we're gonna push. And they are pushing. So that's amazing. Now, they have managed to force the Shobart to stop as they're coming around here. Now, I'm gonna push the Tushkin, because I can hydrate right now, and I don't have shots at it. If it tries to flee here, then I have to deal with it, and hopefully will dodge the torps. But right now, the triple Pommans can shoot the Tushkin, and the secondaries can shoot the Tushkin. And it looks like it's, yeah. It got torped. Okay. So that Tushkin has been dealt with, which means that it can't ambush my Pommans, and this means my Pommans can just keep pushing, and now I can maybe deal with the castle. So this is just a beautiful push here all around, I have to say. And yeah, as you can see, there is still some lag, but it has gotten at least back to the playable stage. So there goes the roll. Now I could radar. The problem is that the Kisakaze is sailed behind this island. I'm not entirely sure where it is, right? If I push my radar now, then it's possible that the Kitakaze just is unshootable for the entire radar duration. And I've wasted my radar. Now it's probably gonna run, so the question is, can I get into position where I can shoot it before it, like, leaves my radar range? I also have to be concerned about the Shobart, but, you know, it's only a Shobart, it doesn't have the biggest guns. So there is that. Armor-wise, I think you have 27mm nose. You have a lot of 27s. And Shobart has 380s, if I'm not mistaken. Which means he can't overmatch you. So I should be fine there. Anyway, so I'm almost coming around here. So as soon as I get detected, like, you can't stealth radar, thankfully. Stealth radar shouldn't be a thing. But there is only a 500 meter difference between your concealment and your radar range, right? And... there we go. So I found the Kitakaze. And I'm gonna deal with it. So... and the Pommans are going to be very delighted about them. Anyway, next up the Shobart. So I'm just gonna run after it, I guess, and try to set it on fire. Now, Shobart isn't, as I said, the most scary thing, but obviously, like any battleship, would hurt also as I keep pushing that way. Warships on the other flank could be interested. Now, thankfully, the enemy Yamato is in the one line. And the Lepanto isn't that good. Well, the Lepanto also has small guns anyway. So I decided to damage con my turret here. I don't think I need that damage con that desperately soon. And my division mate is actually coming in here to give me some smoke, because why not? As we all know, cruisers do love their smoke screens. And I'm sort of waited a little bit to sync my turrets up again, because it doesn't make much sense, but it just annoys me. Like, if you only have like 2 turrets and they're like 1 second apart shooting, I don't know, it just drives me insane. So I'd much rather waste a second reload and have them see. Oh, look at that dispersion. I mean, as if you play the Moines, then you're familiar with sites like this and probably frustrated by them. But you might be used to the frustration. Anyway, so the Chopard is rapidly approaching the maximum range that I have, so I'm soon forced to leave here. And unfortunately, it just doesn't want to burn that much. But honestly, there is a fire. Unfortunately, it's at the very edge of my range, so I can't set follow-up fires after damage con or so. Meanwhile, we are taking the B-cap. Is there anything else I need to tell you about the Tulsa? Well, I mean, you have the choice between hydro or defensive fire. You have, as I mentioned earlier, pretty good concealment, which is nice. Also, you have pretty good smoke fire, right? Not sure on top of my head. I don't think I can bring up the stats in a replay because that would be nice. But I think it's like 6-8 or so. It's better smoke fire than a Des Moines. One of the problems of a Des Moines is oftentimes that if you hug, or you might have encountered that in a Des Moines, that you sneak up on sort of a destroyer-ish, or maybe you radar them in smoke and then they detect you from out of the smoke because you're too close. Or even if you're inside a smoke screen that an ally light. And there are some cats going crazy in the background, but I hope you can't hear that. Anyway, so sometimes the smoke fire penalty on a Des Moines can be really punishing. But the Tulsa is better off in that regard. So yeah, you get better concealment, you get better smoke fire penalty, obviously less guns. And yeah, I mean, you're a tier 9 ship, right? I feel like the Tulsa is pretty good tier 9. Now, you could argue that the matchmaking isn't often that kind to tier 9 and you spend a lot of your times in tier 10 battles, might as well play Des Moines, and true enough. But, you know, that's sad, they can't put the tier 10 ship at tier 9 just for that reason. So anyway, personally, I enjoy the Tulsa run. Also, by the way, can we just, you know, admire that nice, lovely volcano there? Meanwhile, there is still a sub around, there is still a destroyer around. I'm detected here when I shoot. I'm gonna go to armor piercing and try to get some nice shots into the Gibraltar. Gibraltars are very dangerous, so if he decides to retaliate there. But I mean, he can't see me right now. So that's good. Now I am sort of I was detected here earlier. Let's pull a radar here. And I found the submarine actually. So the submarine is currently somewhat on the surface. I would expect him to dive once he's radar because that's usually the reaction that submarines have. Which is also a very sensible one. But it looks like this submarine decides to stay on the surface and oh my god, I'm turning into a swamps.
Torpedoes, direct front.
So we've lost vision of the sub and I'm gonna eat 2 torps. That's not the ideal outcome. But we found the Smarland and our team is happily chewing through it, so that's nice. I mean, this game is pretty much won, yeah. And I have to say, this was a very pleasurable game because of the 3 bomber division. I complimented all of them. We actually had 3 brawling battleships together that decided to just push through, and we were more than happy to support them with, you know, our destroyers went spotting, I went radaring and such. So honestly, this has been a very pleasurable game, despite the fact that it's somewhat one-sided, simply because teamwork happened, right? The reason our team is dominating like this is because, through to sheer coincidence, we've actually gotten teammates that are willing to work with us and play to their strengths, and we are willing to support them. Now the sub has shown up again and once again refused to dive, and Well, then again, like, if 3 Pommers coordinating their drops, you know, diving probably wouldn't save him. So let's get some more shells into the Mogami. Or maybe not. So, yeah, you don't have too many guns in the Tulsa, but you know, you have that very nice fast reload on those 203mm. And I don't know, I just like the Moines guns, and it's, even though you have like, you have less guns in total, they are still very nice guns. The dispersion can be some trolley at times, but you know. Honestly, I feel like the Tulsa is a nice ship and a very enjoyable one too. So if you have the coal and you like Des Moines, it's certainly worth thinking about. And yeah, we are going to reach 1,000 points and win once they sink the Lepanto. Not the most amazing game that was ever played, most certainly, but I feel like the remarkable thing about this game was not necessarily my performance or anything, but just that we found those triple Pommers and they said they were gonna push, we supported them, and it all worked out so gloriously. It was also on the new map that got reworked, and it's just beautiful to look at. And, you know, it gave me the background to talk more about the Tulsa. So, yeah, keep in mind those are first impressions, but so far I really enjoyed the Tulsa. It's a tier 9 Des Moines. And, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.